Season of struggle can still end with silverware for Manchester City. They will come back to Wembley in 3 weeks' time and contest the FA Cup final with Crystal Palace. Not since the first Pep season have City gone a whole campaign without a trophy, and they refuse to let this season be the one. So troublesome and tiring at times, but they aren't ready to end it without another high. And overall, it's been a very good performance by Manchester City.
Yeah, absolutely. Tactically, they got it absolutely spot on in that first half, and with their quality, total control of the midfield, it was always going to be an uphill task for Forest after conceding so early. So, in the second half, they had a real go, though, to be fair to them. Hit the post 3 times and really put up a good show for themselves.
Forest season, which has been stellar, now rests on bracing themselves for gruelling games in the Premier League that will determine if they reach the Champions League. But they'll definitely be buoyed by the second half performance in this game, but disappointed by the first.
No, absolutely spot on, guys. The game was won in the first half. I thought tactically, Pep got it spot on, leaving the 2 centre-backs with nothing to do effectively, controlled the ball. Forest needed something to go their way in the second half. They were far better in the second half, clearly. One particular effort from Hudson-Odoi we'll be talking about, I beg your pardon, Gibbs White we'll be talking about for a long, long time. A brilliant effort. But they needed one of those to go, and it wasn't to be. And I think you've got to say, over the 90 minutes, I thought the better team went through.
Well, the Nottingham Forest fans are still here, and they're getting behind their team because they know the effort that they've put in, not just today, but over the course of the season.
Yeah, they've had a fantastic season. No one would have thought. He's arguably Nuno should be up for manager of the season when you think where everybody expected him to finish, just above the relegation zone. All of a sudden, semi-final of the FA Cup, challenging for Champions League. It's a pretty good year, to be fair.
For Manchester City, the end of the season have 2 aims: get to the Champions League and win the Cup. They're getting closer and closer to both.
Sam, I'll tell you right now, from where they've been this season, I said in commentary, I've never seen a drop off a cliff like it in a top side, and I stand by it. But if they can win an FA Cup and finish in the Champions League places next season, that is more than acceptable. The one thing Forest and Nuno have got to do is regroup, get today out their system, and if they can finish in the Champions League place, that is remarkable.
Goals were absolutely key, and the timing of the second goal was all important, because at that moment, that was just after Nottingham Forest have had a couple of chances to equalise.
Yeah, absolutely. Should have been 1-1 with the chance they had early in the second half. But and it's a goal they can. It's a goal they could have got away with. It's a set-piece goal. 2-0's really.
Well, it's victory for Manchester City, and some of the key protagonists are with Gabriel Clark.
Yes, guys, well done. Matteo, another cup final for Manchester City. A lot of action today, a lot of goal-mouth action, but did you deserve it overall?
I think it was a deserved win for us. From the first minute we started quite well, scoring the goal with Rico, dominating, having a few chances, and we didn't put the game to bed, but in the end they are a strong team, they came back, so they had a few chances, but I think it's a deserved win, and we're happy to be in another final.
Rico, a first start for you in midfield since December, and what a way to mark it, a couple of minutes in.
Yeah, obviously I'm over the moon with a goal. It's a position that I like to play. It's different to playing as a fullback and then coming inside. You know, you're always inside, and you know today was a tough game, but you know we kind of showed a different side of our game where we can survive and you know get through it at the end.
You've had to adapt in terms of not having Erling Haaland, but what worked about the system, particularly in the first half?
I think we've got so many players in midfield that can have the ball. You know, Cover and Burnley as the 2 6s that are so good. They can keep the ball anywhere, and that allows the front men to have more freedom. So I think that was the main thing today.
It's 8 games unbeaten now. What have you found in the last few weeks?
Oh, we just found ourselves again. I think the team is getting stronger. Everybody is 100% focused. A lot of players came back very, very, very strong, so that's important. When we are all back, I think we are a strong team. Unfortunately, the season has not been how we wanted, but we are still in another FA Cup final. We are in top 4, so it's good, and we want to finish it in a strong way.
And you were superb today. It's time for you to win an FA Cup, isn't it? Yeah. Your record in this competition.
Not really good. Yeah, I've lost a few, but I'm happy that I can be again here tonight. It's a pleasure to play at Wembley, so another final. I hope that this time we can take it home.
Yeah, Rico, it's been a tough season, but winning the FA Cup now, what would that represent?
A lot, you know. It shows us again, like today we showed character. I think this season we've shown character. It's not always been smooth sailing for us. But I think we've picked ourselves up with the injuries that we've had at the start of the season, throughout the season, and we've shown that we're a top team. We've got top players, and we can get through tough situations. And now we're on the up. We can take it into next season.
Well done, guys. Rico, if you can do the honours, player of the match. Matteo, well done.
First time in their history that Manchester City have reached the FA Cup final in 3 consecutive seasons. What might have been for Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs wide after hitting the woodwork on a couple of occasions. Analysis and reaction to come in a couple of moments. Manchester City into another FA Cup final after beating Nottingham Forest by 2-0 here this afternoon at Wembley. And they will play Crystal Palace, who dispatched Aston Villa 3-0 on Saturday afternoon. Very impressive from the South London team, and it means Palace into their 3rd ever FA Cup final, City into their 3rd in 3 years. Saturday the 17th of May, with us here on ITV1 and STV. Let's hear then from Pep Guardiola. Here he is with Gabriel Clark.
Pep, well done. Another FA Cup final. What pleased you most today?
Yeah, it's a good start, the way we played. We didn't allow them too much make a transitions that they are so dangerous, and didn't arrive much to the final third with the crosses that with Woods and so on. Yeah, so 7 semi-finals in a row, 3 finals in a row. It's not bad.
You go with Rico Lewis in midfield for the first time since December. Did you see a goal coming?
No. When I select him,
yeah,
I'm clever, but not enough to see that. So come on. So, but this player, his position in the pocket is extraordinary.
What worked about your system, especially in the first half?
No, I think in the game they have chances because, listen, this is a team with a game in hand is better than us in the Premier League. So it's an extraordinary team. We cannot expect them to create chances. They create a little bit more than the game we played maybe there 1 or 2 months ago. And the pace that they have is really, really good. And in general, I like most of the things.
Is this a game maybe a few months ago you don't win?
Yeah, a few months ago the posts go inside, that's for sure.
The way football works.
Everything is in the head and the mind of the players, in one side and the other side.
Is that the positive then, in a sense, the psychological element you showed today?
We are in the final, so if you said 3 years ago you'll be 3 FA Cup final, so come on, so it's so difficult. Perspective will be taken in many years to come. Not now, because the season in the Premier League has not been good. But now we have 4 finals in the Premier League. We cannot be distracted, recover, we have 5 days, and recover the game against Wolves.
Is Mateo Kovacic in maybe the best form he's been with you since he joined?
Yeah. The last 3 or 4 games have been extraordinary. We are lucky to have time to recover, and the rhythm he plays, in the way he plays, cannot play every 3 days. But of course the quality that he has and the composure is extraordinary.
And now is it 5 finals? 4 in the league and 1 against Crystal Palace?
Yeah, that's true.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, it'll be the 4th FA Cup final that Pep Guardiola leads his Manchester City side into. They've won 2 out of the 3. But they are no longer champions of England because Liverpool have won the title this afternoon, beating Tottenham 5-1. Congratulations to Liverpool. But still, a serious chance for your old club to get something from this season. And unbeaten in 8. Look, they weren't perfect today, but maybe they're coming to the ball at a very good moment at the end of the season.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of satisfaction from the result. When you get to places like this, it's not about the performance, it's about the result, and they've got it done today. If they analyse the performance, they'll probably feel a little bit of relief because, yeah, Forest definitely were probably the better team in the second half in terms of goals, chances created, but overall City in the final and a real opportunity to lift silverware.
You felt they had gears, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
City?
I think
they
so.
had options still as well if they needed them.
They're definitely getting their mojo back. Quick start, goal, set piece. Quite simple, really. Very effective from City. You saw during the week late goals, people coming off the bench. Yeah, the signs are a lot better for City than earlier in this season.
Is this an afternoon that might have been for Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, I think so. I think that City, the way City came out and punished them, and then even the chance that they had, then City went and got the corner and they punished them again. I think that Forest, unfortunately, with the chances they had, Gibbs White had a great shot, hit the bar, but I thought the chances they had, they should have done better with them, and it would have been a good time for them to score, because as much as City were comfortable, I think if they take 2 of those chances, then maybe the whole vibe changes, but unfortunately it didn't happen for Forest.
Talk us through the technique of Elanga then. We're talking about him coming on at half-time. We can see he's going to come there immediately more positive. They get a chance down the left-hand side. You can see Elanga pointing at it. Give it to me here. I want it here. I want it here.
Yeah.
What technically-wise does he do it correctly?
Well, firstly, this is what they didn't have in the first half. Look at his pace to get there. I think with the ball coming across there, Poogs, he's trying to put that into an area that's so tight where the goalkeeper is. So you want to do, with the ball coming across, it's coming across quick, you just want to sweep it. Keep sweeping it where it's coming from.
With your left foot?
Yeah, because look at the space here. He's got to be so accurate to get it in there. It's really tight. I thought I would have just swept it in, made the goalkeeper at least make a save with it. Don't miss the chance.
You always get a chance, but you always get a chance even when you're playing badly. And when these moments come, you have to take them.
The fact that Ian said it and Ali McCoy said it, you know, you had you lived your life in front of goal, thinking, you know, that's what you needed to do. Up the other end, and then City on the attack. Sells does really well here. There's a shout for a penalty, and I think we're all glad it's not given a penalty. He's got to put his arm somewhere, young Abbott. But then from the corner, Sells does really well here, just to scoop it away. But then to concede a second from a set piece, as a coach, that's what's driving you mad, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And the momentum was with them at this moment in time, just before this occasion. But yeah, then City just put them to the sword, and Guardiola's done what he's done throughout the season and scored a vital goal, because until this point, the game was in the balance.
He's not challenged anywhere along the line. He's on the move, Joel.
From a defending point of view, I never liked or enjoyed zonal. So yeah, I would always prefer to have a running jump.
Yeah, for the great season Forest are having so far, they'll be really the 2 goals they gave up. Yeah, really poor defensively.
Yeah. Oh, 2-0. But then they had the chances, didn't they? I mean, Gibbs White must be wondering what else he's got to do. Well, you always say to us, half jokingly, you get nothing but hitting the crossbar. What? Apart from putting it in the goal, what else could he have done? Do you know what I mean?
Hit the target. No,
but he's leaning back a bit. I mean,
this is a great effort, but these ones
hard to get.
You hard to be critical of them. It's these ones.
This one here.
These are
slightly be more critical on this.
I think when you look at this one from the other angle, when you watch it from this angle, there's a lot of space there. Look at how much space he's not taken. You see, he's gone. You've got to put it in closer to that post. Just slot it in closer to that post.
You were saying you almost, and here again, when he hits the post. You're saying that when we Gibbs away, you almost practice falling over as you strike.
Just so you can get more of an angle. But even with that one, Poogs, he doesn't need an angle, because there's enough goal to put the ball into that near post.
Well, we've said it many times before, the hardest part of football is putting the ball in the back of the net. And obviously, Forest didn't do that today. You're under pressure. And they've not kind of scored enough goals all season, as well as they're doing. The big problem for Forest is if they get the first goal in games, it's fantastic because they can sit in. But as soon as they go that goal down and end up chasing the game, they're nowhere near as good as just sitting in and been playing on the counter-attack. It's been a problem all season for them.
Morgan Gibbs-White must be pretty frustrated. Came so close to scoring twice here in the semi-final. Let's find out exactly how he feels with Gabriel.
Well, you're wondering as a team and also as a player how you've not scored today.
Yeah, it's devastating. I feel sorry for the fans. I hold my hands up and apologise. I should have scored at least one of them. I think as a team we didn't start the game good. That was what we were hoping to do. And then second half we came out fighting. We gave it absolutely everything. And you know, the support never stopped until the very, very last second. And we thank them so much for that, because they've been so consistent with us throughout the season. Just lost our words really. We gave it our everything. Sad to go out like that. But yeah, we keep going. We've still got the Premier League to focus on.
You're tough on yourself. The first one, have you struck a ball sweeter?
No, especially in my week 4, I've never hit a ball out in my life. So as soon as I hit the crossbar, I had a feeling it wasn't our day. So
and then the second one, you're round the keeper.
Yeah, round the keeper. It was a tight angle, but I think I should do better. I think I should score. You know, and that gives everyone in the stadium energy. That gives us energy to try and go again. But the boys kept fighting. That's the main thing. We showed resilience, even though we were 2-0 down. We kept fighting, and I think that's the main thing we can take from today.
If you get one today, do you win it? We've seen with City this season where they've looked vulnerable with 2-0 leads.
Yeah, I feel like if we get one, we get another one. I feel like that was just the flow of the game in the moment. We had a few good chances that we could have scored from, and all I can put it down to, it just wasn't our day.
Is the frustration not only maybe the nature of the goals you conceded, but if you'd gone maybe with Elanga from the start? It's easy to say with hindsight, of course, but tactically maybe been different in the first half.
No, I think we have a game plan. that everyone believes in, that everyone sticks to. And I felt like we executed it good in the first half. We nullified them apart from their goal. And the main thing was that we came back out fighting in the second half. Anthony's a massive threat for us, a massive threat. And he showed that in the second half. So no, look, we've got to put this behind us now. We enjoyed it while it lasts. We've just got to focus on the league.
5 cup finals for the Champions League.
5 big finals. We're going to give it our absolutely everything like we did today, and just hope for the best.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming out. Thank you.
Morgan Gibbs-White understandably disappointed, but big end of the season to come for Nottingham Forest in particular to try and get back into the Champions League. City look like they will be back in the Champions League, and they're definitely in another FA Cup final. Here is the Forest manager now with Gabriel Clark.
Well, a huge sense of disappointment. Did the better team win in the end?
Yeah, I think both teams had chances. City started the game much better than ourselves. For a situation that they have, they were really clinical. It make us hard. Look, you can say whatever, but I think we did well. We did a good game. We had our chances. We competed really well. We knew how hard it's going to be. The boy give it all.
You looked in disbelief a few times on the bench. How did the ball not go in a couple of times today?
Ask him.
That's Morgan Gibbs-White you're pointing to. Yeah, he's been very honest about maybe missing one chance he should have taken.
About that. Anthony has a good chance. The ball goes really, really wide. So we are there. It's important to build on that and take the positives. I think after the sadness and the bad humor goes away, when you look back at the game, it can make us stronger to the future.
You had a game plan. When you brought Elanga on, things got more positive. Do you look back and think maybe I should have started with Elanga? Or is that too much like hindsight?
Look, we had a lot of situations to decide. It was not an easy week to put the team together. With the yellow card situation, but look, we can argue that maybe it was. We never know. But we had a game plan. Everything changed after the goal that we conceded in terms of the game plan, but the way we respond, the way we react to that was really positive.
You've seen what this match, this occasion has meant to Nottingham Forest supporters after so long. It must give you real energy for the next 5 finals to have more of this.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I said. When the sadness goes away and the fans are going back to Nottingham, tomorrow we wake up and see that we have a lot to fight for.
Make this season even more memorable.
Yeah, we give it all. We try.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He's got a great demeanour, hasn't he? And I think you'd want to play for him. But surely on the way home tonight, he's thinking, should have started with Elanga. I know it's easy to say it now, but should have started.
He always seems so chilled and relaxed in these interviews. It's quite nice to watch him. He's calm. But I think the Elanga omission at the start, I think is a mistake. Especially when you look at his contribution in the second half. Instantly, the Callum Hudson-Odoi has got somebody who he can break down his side and then he can pass it across. You look at the pace what Elanga was trying to get in the box. That's what they needed all day to frighten City, and it didn't happen in the first half.
Because essentially they only had 45 minutes of going at them because they didn't have anything in the first half, as they did in the second, to stretch City.
Yeah, of course. But again, the manager, the problem for Forest now going forward, if they're going to play this system, he said he had a game plan, but that went out the window after 109 seconds. So their stats are so bad when they concede the first goal, they can't change their mindset. They're almost set in their way, so they're hanging their hat always on getting the first goal. So that's an area, as a club going forward, they have to improve on. But also, lick your wounds. They've got a big game on Thursday, and it can still be a brilliant season for Forest.
So they've got 5 games left in the league. Their game in hand is this Thursday at home to Brentford. Were they to win it, they go back to third. Then they play Palace, obviously in the cup final. Leicester relegated. West Ham, nothing to play for. Last day, Chelsea, everything to play for. This is a mentality, psychological thing for them now, isn't it, Forest? Don't let the season... Villa are in exactly the same position, by the way. Don't let the season fizzle out.
Yeah, definitely. But their expectations was obviously different to Aston Villa's. Aston Villa was expected to be in the scenarios they've been in recently. Forest weren't anticipating being in third position at the start of the season. So there's a real opportunity to create history. Yeah, it'd be disappointing today, but like Roy said and like Ian said, they need to focus now, refocus on what's at stake at the end of the season.
One more break, and then in the final part, we will look ahead to the cup final next month. Crystal Palace into their third FA Cup final after a fantastic performance yesterday against a very disappointing Aston Villa. Palace up against Manchester City on the 17th of May. Pep Guardiola has won 18 trophies in 9 seasons, if you count Community Shield and Super Cups and all that. Crystal Palace have never won a major trophy in their history. If they play like they did against Aston Villa, they will give Manchester City a serious game and they may well beat them. Do you not think after yesterday?
Absolutely, yeah. They were fantastic, especially, obviously, you know, their main man, Eze, came up with the goods when he was needed, but I thought Adam Wharton in that midfield was brilliant. I thought their defence was very good, but Mateta, I personally think the goalkeeper, and I don't want to take anything away from Eze, but where this goes in, instantly I thought the keeper.
The power catch him out, right?
Maybe, but like it was so in the middle. Yeah.
Wharton does brilliantly here, doesn't he?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. That was perfect. They had their plan for Tielemans, I think, and then that's a great strike again.
Sarr makes it 2-0.
That's probably part of the game.
They missed a penalty. Mateta had, frankly, perfectly good
goal. The missed kick by Tariq Mitchell as well. He miskicked it on the line. And then this is quality.
Nketiah again pressing.
Then this finish is beautiful.
It's the running power, isn't it?
Yeah.
The energy.
There's an energy, that's the word, isn't it? There's a real energy and a purpose about Palace.
And a bit like what Forest tried to do, but just again, happy to sit in, give Villa all the possession, but know when to press, and when you pinch it, and having that quality to finish like that, fantastic.
It looked to me like they targeted Tielemans the way they were all over him. As soon as he turned it, bam, they were in his face.
2 weeks ago at the Etihad, Palace were 2 up, could easily have been 3 up, and then De Bruyne turned up and they lost 5-2. And they drew 2-2 at Selhurst Park. I don't think there's any inferiority complex about Palace going up against City, do you?
No, there definitely won't be, especially in a cup final. And I know what's at stake, but like you said, City have the capabilities of bringing or using a Kevin De Bruyne, a Doku, a Phil Foden, many a name that can just create a moment of brilliance and decide games, and that's why they're great players. So
yeah, you still have to play really well to beat City.
Yes.
For all their troubles. Palace will have to be at the very best to beat them.
Well, that was the point yesterday. They were Eze, Sarr, Wharton. You know, Gahey's a great leader. Got a reliable goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But there's such belief, and Oliver Glasner, he's a bit like Nuno in a way, isn't he? He's very calm. He's got really good demeanour. Everybody trusts what he's doing.
Yeah, you do. But the problem you have with playing against City, like they saw, even when you're 2-0 up, City's they're still coming at you, and it's going to be down to Palace to know that, listen, we know that they're going to have a lot of possession, but we have to punish them when we get the opportunities because, like Roy said, they are a very good side, and if you don't do those, they'll finish you. They'll put you away.
Mateta's a proper centre-forward these days, isn't he? The transformation in him the last 2 years is really remarkable.
Huge, big player from him. Do you know what he looks like? A big personality.
Yeah.
I know he's come on the back of that injury, but he's recovered well from that. Every time he's in, with the supporters, he seems a popular teammate with everybody. He's a big player from big character and got quality with it.
Absolutely it is. Well, it's a lot to look forward to, particularly if Palace play like they did yesterday. Thank you very much, everybody. Another semi-final done here. One last reminder, we'll be live here at Wembley, ITV1 and STV, for the Emirates FA Cup final on the 17th of May. Crystal Palace against Manchester City. So Nottingham Forest wait for another FA Cup final goes on. Manchester City, they have the chance to salvage something from this season. Thanks for your company. See you for the Cup final. Bye for now.